Welcome back, everyone. My name is Mr. Seth, and we are learning to play the guitar together. In this video, we're going to talk about a new key for the first time, okay? So in the last video, we learned a lot of music theory, right? That was a heavy video, okay? And I know that that can be really scary sometimes to learn all those new words and everything, but I promise you guys, if you listen back to that video, really make sure that you understand what we're talking about. It's going to help you so much moving forward in your guitar playing, okay? And it will allow you to play with so many people, right? It's how all the musicians communicate. Is they say, "Oh, what key are you in?" Remember, what does that mean? What does key mean? It means a group of notes that sounds good together. And there are different groups. And so if two people are playing music together, they need to make sure that they're both playing in the same key. Otherwise, if there's one group that sounds good, but there's a whole other group that doesn't sound good with that group, if there's two chords and people are playing them, but they don't go together, then that music clashes instead of going together, okay? So, what is a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together, okay? We're going to review a little bit on the whiteboard just to make sure we understand the things that we learned in the last video, and then we're going to learn the key of G. So we're going to learn some new chords together today, okay? So, here we go. We're going to go fast on this. Are you ready? What is a key? A key is a group of notes that sounds good together, okay? Now we're going to be in the key of C for this review, and then I'm going to erase this and we're going to put the key of G, okay? So just trust me on this, okay? Now, in music, there's an umbrella. You remember? Okay? Now that umbrella has two sides. What are the sides? Does anybody remember? Melody and harmony. Now remember, the melody side is just playing one note at a time. So if I'm singing the melody of a song, da 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 da, okay? Those are all just one note. But as soon as somebody else starts singing with me, but they sing a different note, now there's two notes going at the same time. That's called harmony. But also, these are just one, it's a note. These are chords, right? So if I'm just playing a note, is there happy and sad? Is there? No, on the melody side there's not, okay? So there's not happy and sad over on the melody side, but on the harmony side, it's full of emotion, okay? It's full of happy and sad, okay? Does that make sense? So it's full of happy and sad. Okay? Because now there's more than one note playing at the same time, and that's where happy chords and sad chords and confused chords and all of that's where it comes in on the harmony side, okay? So on the harmony side, you remember there's this thing, it's called a scale. It moves from low notes to high notes, and it goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay? So that's a scale. And on the harmony side, we don't call it, it's the same thing, but we don't call it a scale. We call it a chord family because we're playing all these notes together now. Okay? And then we talked about this thing called the Nashville number system. Okay? You remember the Nashville number system? And all that is giving a name to all those notes, giving a number to all of those notes, okay? So in the Nashville number system, remember, we use Roman numerals. So I'm going to write out these Roman numerals. Right. Okay? I'm going to write them over here too because we're going to go to that next. And remember, Roman numerals, all it is it's capital and lowercase letters that are now representing numbers. Okay? So I'm gonna write this here to help you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Now remember, taking notes on this might really help if you pull out a piece of paper and draw this whole thing out with me, it might really help you to be able to understand this more, okay? To help you memorize this. Now, remember, all these numbers, when we spell out the key, okay, the scale and the chord family, remember, all the numbers are just alphabetical, okay? So we start, what key are we in? We start with the main note of the key. So we start with C, okay? And then we follow the music alphabet. But remember, where does the music alphabet stop? It stops at G, okay? And then we start over and go back to A after G. So let's try it. We go C, what comes next? D, and then what comes next? E, then F, then G, but then we start over. So we go back to A, and then we go B, and then we go C. Great job. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing here. We go like this. We start at what? C, because we're in the key of C. So that's our 1. Okay, and then we go D, E, F, G, back to A because it starts over, and then B and C. Okay, great job. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, now remember, on this side, is there happy and sad? Are there major and minor? No, okay, so we don't write that. But on this side, remember, it's full of majors and minors. So what we do is we look at the capital and lowercase. Remember, capital equals what? Major, okay? The lowercase is minor, all right? So if we go right here, let's look at this. Is this major or minor? Major, okay? And then we go minor, and then minor, and then major, major, minor. And then do you remember this one? We kind of talked about it real fast at the end. It's a little circle when we write it up like this. It starts with a D. It's diminished, okay? And what that means is it's like it's a sad chord, because it's a sad chord. Look at it, it's a lowercase. But it's also kind of confused. It's like a huh? Like what's happening? It's like a question mark, okay? So that's the diminished chord, all right? Now, this was so much. We just reviewed that so fast. If you did that with me, great job, okay? So then I'm going to say this. What are the 4 main numbers, or if I say it like this, what are the 4 main chords in every key? What numbers? Do you remember? Okay. Look at this. Is it all of them? No, it's not. Okay, watch this. The diminished and the 8. Okay, we can take that away. That's just another C. Okay. Now do you remember? In every key, there's 4 most important chords. It's 1, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Look at 1, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So what are the 4 main chords in the key of C? What are the 4 main chords? You would say it like this. C, F, G, A minor. Okay? What are the 4 main chords in the key of C? C, F, G, and A minor. Okay? If I said, what are the 4 main numbers in the key of C? What would you say? You would say 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay? But what are the 4 main chords in the key of C? C, F, G, A minor. Okay? I promise you, if we learn this, oh, it's going to be so incredible. Okay? So that was really good. You guys did a fantastic job. But what we're going to do now, I'm going to erase most of this. Now, I'm going to keep this up for you guys because this will help. Okay? But remember, using your fingers to count is so important when it comes to this. And remember, in every key, let me ask you a question. Let me see this. In every key, what's a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together. Okay? In every key, the 6, okay, the 2, and the 3 that are right here, are always minor chords, okay? They're always the sad chords. So those don't move. So here's what we're going to do. For the first time, we're going to try this, okay? We got this. We're going to go like this. I'm going to say, what is the 1, 4, 5, and 6? You guys know in sign language, this is 6. I do this sometimes when I'm counting to 6, okay? So if you see me do this, that's what's happening. Okay, watch this. So if I said, what's the 1, 4, 5, and 6 in the key of G? How would you do that? You would start with what? G as the 1, okay? And then you would follow the music alphabet. Does the music alphabet go to H? No, it doesn't, okay? It starts over after G. So it goes G, and then what? A, B, C, D, and E. Now, if I was counting on my fingers, that's what I would do. I would go G, A, B, C, D, okay? And then E. But I'm counting on this whiteboard, so instead, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write those out for you, and I'm going to erase the 2 and the 3. Because remember, in every key, what are the 4 most important numbers? 1, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Now, do we know how to play any of these chords? We know how to play some of them, okay? But I'm going to show you that because we're in a different key. Now, what's a different key? What does that mean? It means it's a different group of notes, okay? We're not in the key of C anymore. We're now in the key of G, okay? And because we're in the key of G, when it says to play a G chord, it's going to look a little bit different because it's a different group of notes, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it. Don't worry, okay? So we know how to play in the key of C. We know how to play C, F, G, A minor. You guys have learned a bunch of chords in that key. You guys have learned some songs in that key too, okay? I'm going to rewrite this one more time. Here's how I would do it. G, and then A, B, C, D, E, okay? And then I would erase these 2 because we only want the 1, 4, 5, 6. And then because this is a 6 and it's lowercase, I'm going to make this into a minor. So these are now the 4 main chords in the key of G, okay? This is G, C, D, and E minor. Now remember, when I'm teaching you this stuff, I know I'm going fast, but this is music theory, which means it's okay to go back and review and listen to it one more time and learn it again, and that might really help if you go back, okay? So if you're lost right now, if it's kind of hard to keep up when I'm doing this, I want you to go back and watch those last videos again, okay? But right here, this is where we're going to start to learn some new chords today. Ready? Here we go. So we're going to learn G, we're going to learn D, we're going to learn G, we're going to learn C, D, and E minor, okay? Here we go. I'm going to write out these chord diagrams for you. Now, this is Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie, okay? Now remember, that's how these chord diagrams work. There's the 4 lines going this way, and those represent each of the strings. Good, bye, Eddie, okay? And then last one, we'll move it here. And then there's the lines that go down this way. And remember, those represent the frets. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing right here. 1, 2, 3. This is E, A, D, G, B, and E. Remember, Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. Here we go. We'll do this one more time. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to move these just a little bit, okay, to make them a little bit easier to see. And this is E minor, okay? So this is G, C, D, and E minor. Okay? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my guitar and I'm going to show you up close, and then I'll come back and I'll write these up here. All right? So we now know how to play C, F, G, A minor, D minor, and E minor, okay? Now the only chord that's going to stay the same in this key is E minor. So we know how to play this one, okay? We know how to play E minor, but I'm going to show you a new way, a different way to play G and a different way to play C, okay? And then we're going to learn a D major chord for the first time. We know how to play a D minor, and this is close to our D major chord, okay? But we're going to learn some new chords together right now. Are you ready? Here we go. So the first thing you're going to do in this key, are you ready? Watch. You're going to take your pinky. Oh, we've never used the pinky before. You're going to take your fourth finger and you're going to put it on the very bottom string, just like this. The very last string. Okay, press down hard. I know it's going to hurt again. Okay, but I promise you, if you keep practicing, it's not going to hurt anymore. Okay, you do the third finger now, right above that one. So these are both pressing down. Okay? These two are pressing down really hard on the very bottom. The last two strings. Okay? And then you take the middle finger and you bring it all the way up to the top on the 3. And then you take the first finger and you put it right here on the 2, on the second fret of the second string down. So these two on the bottom, and then on the top, it's this one on the 3, the middle finger on the 3, and the first finger right here. Now make sure you don't accidentally flip these. Sometimes people do this a lot, okay? Instead, this one comes up on top, and this one goes right below it. And press down really hard. Now on this chord, really make sure that you don't accidentally do the bendy thingy like this. Remember, we don't want our fingers to bend like this, okay? Instead, we want our fingers to bend like this. So bring your hand up just a little bit. Bring that thumb up just a little bit. Kind of pinch in between right here. This will really help with this chord. So we have these two fingers on the very bottom, and then this middle finger up at the top, and this first finger right below it, like this, on the second fret. See how that's a lot brighter? Okay, this is a different key. This is a whole different group of notes, okay? And this sounds different than when we play in the key of C, right? Now watch, play this G. This is a G chord, okay? These two at the bottom and these two right here. Okay? Just try to get used to that G chord. And now, almost like C and F, right, our C and our F chord, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these two fingers and we're going to move them down, all right? So look, that looks like this. These two move down one each, okay? But remember, try to move those together like this, okay? So we have G up at the very top, and watch, we move these two down and keep these two right here. This becomes a C chord, okay? This is a new C chord. So we have a G, and we have a C. And you might say, well, Mr. Seth, how do we remember when to play this C and when to play this C? Or when to play this G and when to play this G? Okay? Now remember, what key are we in? When we're playing in the key of G, when we're playing in the group of notes that sounds good together, that is G, we play this G and this C chord, okay? But another way that I'm going to remind you, okay, is I'm going to say this is a pinky full, okay, like the pinky finger full, the pinky finger G. This is a pinky full G, okay? Then we move these two down, and and this is a pinky full C. Okay, this one doesn't have any pinky at all. Okay, so this is a pinky full G, and this is a pinky full C. And we play these in the key of G. Okay, so we got G, like this, pinky full, and C. Let's try to play those back and forth just a little bit. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, G. And then C, 2, 3, 4, and G. 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, and G. 2, 3, 4, C. 2, 3, 4, G. Up at the top. We're just going back and forth. Okay, just learn to go back and forth between those two chords really easily. Okay, now we're going to learn to play a D chord. All right, this is our last chord that we're going to learn. So here's G, here's C, and then to play a D, we're going to go like this. We're going to lift up our pinky. There's no pinky in D. Okay, we're going to take both of these fingers off. We're going to move our middle finger to the very bottom on the 2. Okay, it's on the 2 of the very bottom. This finger stays on the 3, and then we take this first finger. Remember, look over your guitar. Don't lean your guitar back towards you. So look over your guitar. Middle finger on 2, third finger on 3, and then this one. And just like when we play that other D minor chord, okay? When we play the D minor chord, we don't strum all of the strings, okay? Instead, we try to only strum these 4, okay? So if we're strumming down, you see how I'm just not hitting these other 2 strings? I'm just hitting these right here, okay? You can do that with this D chord. See how it sounds really bright and happy? That's because this is a major chord, but it's also the whole key of G is just really happy. And then there's E minor, right, which is a really sad chord, but it fits in really well with these other notes, with these other chords, okay? So here's what we've learned. We've learned G, pinky full, G with the pinky there. We've learned C. Try to play these with me. We've learned D like this. Pinky comes off. That one goes there. And then the last one is like this, E minor. Now, make sure you play the E minor with these 2 fingers, the 2 middle fingers, okay? Not these 2 fingers. Because then when you have to switch to C, look at what you have to do. You have to go here, and then you have to move those things around. It's so much easier to go E minor, and then when you switch from E minor to this C, you just lift this finger up, you slide, you put this first finger down, and these 2 go on the bottom. Okay, so here's G. I'm just playing some 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, then play a C. 1, 2, 3, play a D and D. Keep strumming even if you don't have the chord. And E minor. Press down hard, you got it. Back up to a G. Okay? Now from E minor to G, woo, that's a big transition because these 2 fingers have to go all the way down to the bottom. This one comes all the way up to the top, and that one goes right there. Okay? So I'm going to write these up on the board, these chord diagrams really fast, okay? And then we're going to be done with this video. Whew, this is a lot. You guys have learned so much, okay? This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then those 2 are 1, 2, 3, okay? So watch this. On the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings, we have our pinky and our ring finger, okay? And then up at the very top, we have the middle finger, and then right below that and behind it is our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, okay? Then we have this chord right here. This is a C chord. Same thing, except these two just move down, all right? And remember, this is 1, 2, 3. So this is all on the 3rd fret, these 3 right here, okay? Then we have this one. This is middle finger on the very bottom. This 3rd finger stays there from these other chords. You see how this is all the same? Okay? And then this one goes right here. This is our pointer finger. You see how it almost like makes a D shape? You see that? That's kind of cool. Makes a little triangle, okay, with your fingers. And then we have E minor, just like this. These 2 fingers right here. So here's what I want you guys to do. If you're at home and you're watching this, or you're in a classroom and you're watching this, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to take these 4 chords. Remember, these are the 4 main chords in what key? In the key of G, okay? I want you to take these 4 chords and I want you to make up some different progressions. So pick all 4 of them and move them around, okay? So maybe play D, G, C, E minor, or play E minor, C, G, D, or play C, D, E minor, G. Try these different progressions and put them in different orders. Remember when we've written out those really big, long progressions? You can do that too. These are things that are really going to help you to work on the transitions between these chords, okay? It's really going to help. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. You got this, and I'll see you in the next video.